Yo, what's poppin' everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be going over Snorlax Control, one of the most oppressive and really annoying decks in our format. If this video doesn't show you how to play it, it might show you some tips on how to beat it, and I think that's what makes it really worthwhile. Arguably, this is going to be one of the strongest decks in our post-rotation metagame, so you really want to tune in and make sure that you're watching this video. If you like all of the top decks in the format and you want to learn the best competitive news in Pokemon, check out the Shuffle Squad, subscribe to us, give this video a like, and let us know in the comments what you think about this deck. Let's jump into the deck list. Here we have the deck list that I got personally handed to me by Calvin Connor, the Snorlax god himself. Not only has this dude seen so much success with Snorlax, he's one of the best players in the game. I think last time I checked, he was rated #1 globally. That being said, Snorlax is absolutely fantastic, where we're just trying to block our opponent and stop them from doing anything. Might not necessarily be the fun gameplay that we're always used to of knocking out drawing prize cards, but we're eventually trying to mill out our opponent or put them in a position where they have no resources left and they decide to just concede the game themselves. In which case, we could always go Misfortune Sisters, ripping all those cards, and if they have other cards that allow them to loop, like Pidgeot or Squovid, we can use Chi-Yu and win the game. There's a lot of new cards that I want to go over when it comes down to this deck list, so if you haven't already, copy and paste this list from the description right into PTCG Live, and if there's any cards you're missing online or in real life, check out Kayfabe and PTCGL Store to support the Shuffle Squad and pick up the cards that you need online or in real life. Let's jump into the strategy. Snorlax is going to be the main component of this deck and has the block ability that says as long as this Pokemon's in the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon can't retreat. Unlike other decks in the format, we're not going to be attacking with Snorlax. We actually don't even have enough energies in the deck to use Collapse. We are only using Block to stop our opponent's Pokemon. So if they have a Pokemon that can attack us, such as Manaphy, and they don't play water energies, we can bring that up into the active spot with a Boss's Orders or a Counter Catcher, and continuously just sit there and go block, block, block. They can't retreat, and maybe they'll play a switch. Bring it back with Counter Catcher. Now you might be like, okay, maybe you'll run out of counter catchers, maybe you'll run out of boss, and yeah, we have no way to get back our counter catchers, except, well, we actually do. We have Cyllene. So flip 2 coins, put a number of cards on top of your deck based off the number of coin flips. Now, we're not always going to get lucky, but we can always get back Cyllene with Team Yell's Cheer. So as we continuously block our opponent and use Team Yell's Cheer and Cyllene and get back these cards over and over again, and did I mention that we have 3 copies of Pal Pad to get back those cards as many times as you want? I think it's actually close to impossible for us to not get back our cards over and over and over again. So as long as our opponent's not knocking out Snorlax, we're pretty good to just block our opponent's Pokemon. In some cases, our opponent can't knock out our Mimikyu, which means that we have Safeguard to block them from doing anything that they want in the game. We prevent all of damage done by our Pokemon from their Pokemon EX and Pokemon V. So that means that their Charizard EX can't attack us. They might be able to do an effective attack, such as attacking us with Roaring Moon EX, but then we're just going to go ahead and put down a Snorlax and bring up one of our opponent's other Pokemon. We have Rotom V as our draw engine to use Instant Charge, and it's also a vessel for us to use Forest Seal Stone. That allows us to continuously search out whatever we want, and we also have Pidgeot to go back into our deck, similar to the Great Tusk Mill, to make sure that we are able to never really deck out. On top of that, we also have it as another Pokemon that we could put Forest Seal Stone on and put it underneath the deck or back into the deck. That being said, we have access to some cool new cards such as Eri, which allows us to rip item cards out of our opponent's hand, and we also have access to Heroescape to give ourselves a little bit more extra HP. All the cards are going to be designed to really stay in play, make sure that we're continuously adding cards that our opponent doesn't want in field, like Erika's Invitation or Mantine, and really just use block to victory. I think this deck is really cool. Again, not necessarily the most fun deck to play against, but it is kind of fun when you are winning. So let's see how this deck plays out against the metagame. Again, there's a lot of top decks that just will take the loss to Snorlax. We'll see if we can run into them on the PTCG Live metagame. So we're going to start against our buddy Jeremy Gamilla, or otherwise Gem, from the Shuffle Squad. I'm like, I'm going to play Lax, because I know that if I played just regularly on the ladder, someone would probably scoop against Lax. No one wants to play against Lax. So I'll have to see how it goes. I'd like to go second, but it seems like I'm going to be going first. Second is just so I could play a supporter on my first turn. If I had a Pokemon with those 3 Nest Balls, that would have been fantastic, but we'll see how it all ends up going. This isn't terrible. I think like what I want to do. Okay, it looks like we're playing against some kind of ancient deck. I think what we're probably gonna do is go lax and maybe just give myself some more HP. Yeah, I think what I have to do is just give myself more HP at this point, just in case they can ever get to that 150. I don't want them to turn one Corride on me, especially since Flutter Mane isn't affected by a block. So I'm just going to go ahead here and pass, and we'll see how it ends up going. I don't know if Flutter Mane's the Pokemon that I want to bring up, considering they could always, like, retreat out of it when it comes down to it. So something like... I'm honestly not sure what build they're playing. If they play Big Roaring Moon EX, that could be quite difficult because they can go through Mimikyu. I guess all their Pokemon could really go through Mimikyu, so Mimikyu's not going to be the play of this game. I think I'm just going to have to naturally go for a block kind of gameplay. Because all their Pokemon are single prize card, non-rule box, not EX, not V. And they're discarding quite a bit. I guess they don't need the Ancient Booster Energy Capsules this game. Probably building up a Roaring Moon. We'll have to see how it plays out here. So, might just be the Flutter Mane build. I think that might be a little bit more popular. So I'm gonna have to build up, like, bring up the other, like, little Roaring Moons, I guess. And they might be able to Hex Hurl, which could be a little bit annoying. At this point, I think, like, they have a lot of a lot of item cards. The item cards would be, like, Super Rod and Prime Catcher and a Pal Pad if they had any of them. So I'm probably going to just get set up with Arven here. Arven searching my deck for a Nest Ball and searching my deck for a Forest Sealstone. I want to make sure that I have access to Rotom because I want to draw some cards. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go Nest Ball, Search. I don't think they play Vacuum in any capacity. So I'm just going to go ahead here and grab out the Rotom. So we're able to draw in some more cards so we have more control over our opponents. I'm going to put down another Snorlax. And I want to go... I don't know if I want to go Forest Seal Stone on the Rotom. I want to double check to make sure that they're 1, 2, 3, 4. They're doing 110. Don't know entirely sure what I want. They don't really play anything that would shuffle cards out of our hand. So I'm just going to go ahead here and go for an instant charge. So if they ever deal a lot of damage, I'd like to play Penny. If they get to 250 and start pitching through their deck, I think that could be a little bit tough to deal with from time to time. I just have to see entirely what's going on. There's a couple energies. We'll see what else they have in their hand. They might just, like, attach an energy to one of their Pokemon. Okay, so they do have the Setas. So we know for sure that they have at least another energy in their hand. They're going to attach to the fighting. And they're just going to go 90-20. I'd really like to find a boss if we have access to it. If we don't find access to boss this turn, I will just bring up one of the other ones. Because I got to slow them down a little bit. So we can't use Counter Catcher yet because we're not knocked out. So we're going to go ahead and go Pokégear. Hopefully we could just rip the boss here. That'd be so much easier. Didn't rip the boss. I think maybe we want to go for one more turn. How much are they doing right now? They're doing 70, 80, 90, 100, 130, 130. So they have to get +3. Probably bring it a little bit more. I might just play Eri this turn because we already have Penny in our hands. And they don't have any other Pokemon in their discard pile, so you wanna know what? I think what I want to do is just Eri, see what they have going on. So it's Koraidon and a Dark Energy. So good to know that what we're kind of dealing with when it comes down to it. And I don't want to really put anything else. Like maybe I could put down another Snorlax here. And I'm just going to draw some more cards. We don't want to like... Maybe they'll rip the Pokestop and just go through their deck. I know that we have the Erika's Invitation. Koraidon can hit for a stable amount of damage. Probably a little bit like harder for them to deal with than we think. Depending on what they top deck. Like, yeah, I don't think they top deck too much here. But I'm probably just going to be using Penny in case they top decked anything crazy. So let's go ahead. We're going to go Penny Loop onto the Snorlax. We're going to get back that Hero's Cape so we could utilize it over and over again. I'm going to put the Pokemon here, put this down here. I could maybe get rid of the Pokestop. I don't think... Just trying to think. Yeah, they didn't use Pokestop because they probably don't want to at this point. So we're just going to go ahead and draw some more cards from our deck here. And I'm feeling kind of okay. I know they have that Koraidon, so next turn after they hit us for a Hex Hurl, if they just go right directly into a Hex Hurl, probably top deck another energy, so they're feeling a little bit more safe. I can always switch card depending on what they have in their hands. So let's go ahead and top deck. We're going to go for Erika's Invitation. We're going to see that they have that. They have double Earthen Vessel. So we're just going to go Koraidon here. I'm feeling kind of safe against whatever they have. Considering they are playing Koraidon in their build, they should be down a decent bit of energies. Like there's 4 energies. They can't retreat. I think I'd rather just draw some more cards. Not really too much else that I want to do. We want to make sure that we're also not decking ourselves out. They could play a great Tusk. Something to really consider. So we're just going to keep on bringing up Pokemon that can attack us. Like we see that there's 4 Pokemon and they're probably just going to get down another energy. So there's a Dark Energy, and how many Setas have they used? They've used 1 Setas. I don't know entirely what's in their hand. I think like we saw another Eri and they probably ended up grabbing just trying to think here. They top deck something. I don't know what they ended up discarding, if I could just decide what they're doing here. Like there's a lot of like boring things that happen here. They discarded a Nest Ball that they top decked, and then they grabbed Dark. So I know that they have a Dark in their hand. Might be a little bit better for us to just trying to think here. I think I'm gonna just go Misfortune Sisters. I'm fine just to continuously mill through their deck. I want to see what else is there. Koraidon, Seta, Dark, that's fine. We'll just continuously try to rip through their deck a little bit. And I don't think they have a Fighting Energy. They might only have 1 Fighting Energy in the deck, or they probably only have 2 to 3 Fighting Energies in their deck. I know that they don't really have much going on in their hands, so I'm just going to go ahead here and draw some more cards. And right now they're only hitting for 120, so we could always penny this Snorlax back into our hands. Like, I don't think they're really doing too much. They discarded some more Pokemon, so I probably want to use the Mantine that we have to get some Pokemon out. I'm going to go ahead and Nest Ball, search, Mantine. Mantine goes there. Mantine puts Fire Energy. I'm going to switch card over to the Mantine. And in case they draw a prize, like I don't want them to be able to attack the Mantine. Or maybe I do, I'm not entirely sure. Like the Pokemon I probably want to put out is going to be just another Roaring Moon. Like they could run out of energies. Do I want to play Misfortune Sisters? Sure, like we'll just try to get some big rips there. That sounds kind of cool if you ask me. I don't want them to really draw into like a whole bunch of pieces. Kind of want to leave them the Awakening Drum though, to be honest, because I think it'd be like kind of hilarious. They can't attack us with the Rad Ninja, so I think what I want to do is just go Born Ashore. We're going to go for our opponent's discard pile, and we're just going to bring back the Rad Ninja. And that's going to be the Pokemon that we're going to continuously target. I'm probably going to use bring up Radiant Greninja. Next turn, we'll see like how... Okay, so we can't bring down another Pokemon. At least they can maybe draw some more cards, but they're still milling through their deck pretty easily. They could retreat, and they're probably going to attack with the Flutter Mane. So some interesting gameplay overall. I know that Mantine's not really going to be doing too much at this point, so I'm okay to just go ahead and boss's orders, bring up the Radiant Greninja. I'm going to go ahead, retreat into our Snorlax. I'm going to put a Temple of Sinnoh down to just stop their stadiums in general. I'm feeling kind of good about this, and we're going to go ahead and... I don't know if there's anything else that I really want to Misfortune Sisters if I can get some things back. I think I might just Pal Pad back a couple of the Misfortune Sisters so we can continuously go through our opponent's deck, because we have pretty much everything else at our for our assets. So we're going to go Instant Charge. You can see they're frustrated if you look towards the left, and we'll draw. Maybe we'll get a Fortune Sisters. No more Misfortune Sisters there. We do have access to double Pokégear, and we still have access to our Forest Seal Stone, so they might just draw past a few times. I don't know if they have any other switch cards, but this would really be a great opportunity to maybe get something. So let's use Pokégear. There's a Misfortune Sisters, and we want to take away their switching cards. I know they don't play Prime Catcher at this point. That's another good hit. I don't think they'll actually be able to get out of this. And then we're just going to go ahead here and pass. The more Misfortune Scissors we can play, the more that we are just going to be able to rip some stuff. So let's go ahead and go Pokégear. We're going to grab another Misfortune Sisters, and we're going to go ahead and rip some more cards from the deck if we can. Nothing really that we're going to get there. I think at this point we just want to go ahead and draw 3 more cards. And we want to make sure that we're not decking out or putting ourselves in any kind of tough situation. Like, they're already down to 11 cards in their deck. And them, like, milling their own Radiant Greninja is really going to be the death of them this game, because it's a Pokemon that can attack. We'll see if there's anything else that we can grab. Like, I think Eri might be interesting in case they had some other pieces in their hands. They really don't want to be playing any of these cards, so the Radiant Greninja just being stuck there for the rest of the game is going to be quite difficult, and they're down to 8 cards left. Like, we're almost there when it comes down to it. We do have the Team Yelch here, so I'm going to just go ahead and Pal Pad back in a couple more Misfortune Sisters. I'm not entirely sure on the counts of what they might play. Lists are kind of very in between right now, so players could be playing switch cards. They could be playing a lot of things, but if we look at it, like, I think we've probably hit most. If we get into a Misfortune Sisters here, which we haven't, we'll use a Heavy Ball and just grab the Pidgeot so we can avoid decking out some cards that we just can't get to at this point. No special energies in play. I don't think we're going to necessarily draw anything with Eri. I don't think there's really much else that we want to be doing, except just going for pass. We want to go Switch Cart Chi-Yu to win the game, and that's going to be our win con in order to get them down from when they get down to 2 to get down to 0. And if we end up drawing into a Misfortune Sisters beforehand, which we automatically get it here, we will go ahead and rip some more cards. You can see that it's very frustrating to play against a Snorlax deck. So there's one. So we only don't know 1 card left in their deck. And we're going to just bring down the game 1 turn closer. I am going to draw another 3 cards with Instant Charge to make sure that we are not going to deck out here. And then we're going to just start chilling with our Pidgeot and putting Pidgeot back in. So they're down to 4. We're going to go ahead here and go with... I might as well do a free Penny. Or actually, I can use Penny next turn because they're not really getting out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and put Pidgeot into the deck. Put the Vanishing Wings there. And I'm just going to pass my turn. Again, don't deck yourself out. They're going to be down to 3 cards left at this point. And this is where decks get to the point where they can't do anything. We're going to draw into our card, and the card is going to be Bravery Charm. I'm just going to go ahead and end my turn because we don't really need to play anything else. And we could have maybe played Misfortune Sisters and hope that they just had 1 more item floating in there. But we are able to go. Chi-Yu goes down. We either use Switch Card or we can use Penny. We're going to go ahead there and loop them. So let's go ahead. Penny, put this back down. We still have the Pidgeot. We could put the Pidgeot back into our deck just in case you're a little bit worried. So we'll go Vanishing Wings. And we'll use Jealousy Sing to make sure that our opponent, or Jealousy Singe to make sure that our opponent can't really get there. So we're going to go ahead this and hit them with the Jealousy Singe, ripping the top 2 cards of their deck, meaning that they have nothing else. They go to draw for their turn. They can't, and we win the game. So a really tough matchup for Gem there. It looked like it was going to go pretty well at the beginning, especially with Fluttermane getting around, but we were able to win the game pretty easily. Shout out to Gem. Check them out on socials. At Gem TCG. And that's what we got going on for our video today. I hope that you enjoyed learning more about this deck. Snorlax really putting Gem in a tough position. And again, shout out for him for being a trooper and playing through the matchup. When he ripped that Radiant Greninja, I'm sure he's like, oh, as if I got that card. Because we don't really have a way to rip those cards out. If he had a bunch of ancient Pokemon, maybe he could attack with them, maneuver in between. But when a deck's not really having a way to move from the active to the bench or whatever, and there's really no ways left, there's nothing else except pass. And if there's enough time left in the game for you to just continuously draw pass, draw pass, draw pass, draw pass, they will deck out at some point. And if they're not decking out, we have that Shiyu to win the game like we did. Again, the list is available in the description. If there's any cards you need, hit us up at our sponsors, Kayfabe, PTCGL store would be absolutely fantastic. Support Ultimate Guard. We got these brand new deck boxes in on the websites. I love them. I think they are fantastic. They look so awesome in kind of tropical themes, especially with Worlds being in Hawaii. I have the set of these. I don't know where I put my other ones, but they're around somewhere. Use those at every single tournament to protect my cards. And beyond that, I hope that you just enjoyed watching. Give this video a like, subscribe, share to the channel, and if you're looking for some coaching, hit me up at metafy.gg/@ZachLassage for some Pokemon TCG coaching. I'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out and have a great one. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.